Hello and welcome to a lovely morning practice. I do this every day, pretty much every day. It will vastly reduce your back pain and also knee joint pain. So lie down flat on the floor and start to do the pelvic curls. So here you're curling up from the tailbone, and I tend to go for 10 actually. You're curling up from the tailbone on an inhale, pushing into the floor, into the mat, and then lowering down vertebrae by vertebrae from the shoulders right the way back down to the tailbone. So that's number 2. And then 3, pushing into the floor, raising the hips, and then lowering down vertebrae by vertebrae. And keep going, raising on the inhale, curling up, curling down on the exhale. Pushing into the feet, curling the tailbone up, then the lower back, then the mid back, and releasing back down. And just keep going like this, raising from the tail, lowering down. Raising up, lowering down, and when you lower down, trying to get the whole spine on the mat. Raising up, there's a sort of subtle movement in the hips, lowering down. Again, a sort of subtle movement on the way down. One more time, raising and lowering. Raising up and lowering down. So I tend to go for about 10 of these movements initially. When you've done them, you can hug the knees into the chest. Really nice sort of back massage move. You can rock a little bit side to side, maybe make small circles, or just hugging the knees in can give a lot of release in the spine. So this is a nice one, just to really just get a sense of that enjoyment. And once you've felt that release, you can then plant the feet back on the floor and start to do the twist. So just twisting legs to the one side, legs to the other. So it's quite gentle, quite loose and free, letting the knees fall one side and the other. Again, working with the breath, really nice. You don't need to, the knees don't need to reach the floor. Trying to keep the shoulders on the mat at all times, and just rocking them side to side. I tend to go 5 each side, so again 10 in total. 10 is quite easy to remember because it's the number of fingers you have. So again, quite a simple one to go with. Nothing too strenuous. We're going easy. Especially if it's kind of like the first movement you do in the morning. This is kind of like our waking up movement. When you finish at 10, rolling over to one side, and then keeping the feet together, raising the knee, the upward knee, away from the lower knee. Again, if we go for 10 of these lifts, it's a nice, easy one to remember. This will strengthen the kind of hip area. And that will help support your knees as well. So I find this one really useful. Again, it's quite gentle, relatively gentle, nice wake up move. I normally make a cup of tea before I start these exercises, and then by the time I've completed them, then the tea's ready to drink. So you can have a lovely day ahead of you once you completed these moves. And then it's working away on the other side. Again, going for 10 lifts. Knee comes away, upper knee comes away from the lower knee, and back down. Okay, when you've done these, then we're going to roll over. This is perhaps the toughest move. It's the plank. I go for a minute. If it's too tough, just from the toes, you can drop the knees And then instead of making a straight line from the heels to the shoulders, you can make a straight line from the knees. So in this example, I'm doing from balancing on the toes, but it's absolutely fine to drop the knees, and that'll take a lot of the weight out of it, and that will help you achieve that minute. But over time, achieving 1 minute then becomes much more possible once you've got a bit of practice. It becomes possible. You can even do a hybrid, so starting on the toes when you get really tired, lowering onto the knees. Try not to sag too much in the bum area. Trying to keep that up. When I've finished, do a nice back stretch. Again, taking it easy, pushing the toes, the feet into the mat. I quite enjoy looking a bit side to side. From this, do explore. And then we go for our first child's pose. I normally do a couple of these. So I'll do a second one in a second. But I tend to find on the second one, my hips touch my heels, whereas on the first, they tend to get close, but maybe not quite there. And that's perfectly natural as the body opens. It's really an opportunity, this morning practice, to spend time with yourself, to befriend and get to know your body better, the different difficulties you got, and again, the strengths. So then we do alternate raises. So we're raising one arm, one leg. It's kind of like a bit like swimming on our mat. Strengthens the muscles in the back. And also around the core, which will support your, essentially give you support to your lower back throughout your day. I'm actually bending my knees quite a lot there, and now I can watch myself on the video. I don't think you need to bend them actually quite as much as what I'm doing. I go for 10, so nice, easy to count for, 5 each side. And then once you've done your 10, it's back to child's pose. And like I said, on the second time, I often find the hips can come a bit lower down. Here I'm stretching my arms forward. You can bring them by the sides. You can rest them on the lower back, maybe holding the alternate, the other wrist with one hand. All sorts of different hand positions you can explore. So that's the down work complete. If I then tend to get up, not too fast, and I do another knee stretch. I go for 30 seconds each side. Taking both hands back onto the foot behind you tends to bring a bit of an opening across the chest area and into the shoulders, which is kind of like a bonus. Obviously less stable, so if you wobble a lot, you may want to use one arm initially to balance against a wall or a door or anything else that's stable. Once you've done the 30 seconds, you can go the other side. Fine to wobble, of course. And this is our last move for our morning practice. It's a really good kind of general stretch to the body. Like I said, it'll strengthen your back muscles and the muscles around your knees. So it should help reduce back pain, reduce knee pain. And I've been practicing for about 5 years now, and certainly I've had no major back problems since then. So best of luck with it, and go gently.